Hello traders, welcome to this week edition of Weekly Market Outlook. We are going to be starting with GBP pairs. We'll run through the Euro pairs, the USD pairs, and if time permits, we'll make it as brief as possible. We'll also check the cross pairs. Without much ado, let's start. Let's start with GBP USD. We've been trading some of these GBP pairs over time because we have looked at the index that control the GBP, which is the GBP index. It's been bullish over times, and we have been taking trades based on that. Now going to GBP USD. Let's start with GBP USD on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame of GBP USD, we have spotted this nice structure. We have spotted this nice structure to the downside. We have this move to the downside. We have this correction. Okay, we have this move again. Now you have this beautiful three-wave structure. That's what we are expecting for a move to the downside. Okay, this is the structure we are expecting. But this particular swing that is going, this is A, this is B, and this is C. This C is not completed yet. We are still have a little bit of the upside to make on GBP USD. At least we must be able to tag this level. Just remain a little bit push to the upside for us to tag that level of the previous high. Then there we can look for a beautiful move to the downside. Okay, that is on the weekly time frame. Let's check the daily time frame and see what GBP USD is doing at the moment. You can see gradually it's pushing up on the daily. Now it's not advisable for anybody to buy GBP USD at this level except it makes a decent correction. Okay, if you can see a decent pullback this way, all right, if you can see a decent pullback to the downside, then we can take one more push to the upside to break this top. Can break this top, then from there we look for a move to the downside. So as far as I'm concerned, at the moment there is no setup on GBP USD. All right, checking the weekly on GBP JPY, we see that it's almost having the same structure with GBP USD, but on on this we don't want to really check what's happening at the past so that we'll have more pairs to cover under short period of time. Okay, if you look at GBP JPY, it's making a beautiful move. We have spotted it on the weekly time frame. You will notice that it has a beautiful move to the downside. We have three-wave pullback. All right, you have this move. Okay, so after this move, we are having this three-wave pullback again. All right, so this three-wave pullback, all right, is making this move. You have this structure. Okay, we expect this to move to the downside. Okay, so this will be W. All right, this we expect a move here. W, this is X, and then you should have a move to the upside to make Y. Let's use another color. Have a move to the upside to make Y. It's W, X, Y, and then a push to the downside for continuation of this move. Okay, this is A, B, and C. This is A, B, and C. All right, so this is W, and this is big A, big B, and then we have a beautiful C to the downside. Okay, so but at the moment, this corrective structure at the middle is not over yet in the weekly time frame. Now, taking this pair to the daily, you will see that we expect to have this move to the upside. We want it to tag this top. Okay, want it to tag this top, and does not really tag this top. So what we want is we want a decent correction at this level for us to have a push to the upside to tag this top. But that correction is not there at the moment. Okay, that correction is not there at the moment. So no setup as far as I'm concerned on GBP. Okay, it has really overbought. It is not wise to buy it at this level. We have to wait to see a decent pullback before we can buy GBP JPY. All right, so if you look at GBP CHF, it's making a good move. We have been buying GBP CHF right from this level. Okay, after it made this impulse, makes 3-wave correction, 3-wave pullback. Okay, we took a trade here, we make another wave back, we took a trade here. But we can see this move is not equal to this move at the moment. It's not equal to that move at the moment. So what we can do is to wait to see a pullback. Let's see a correction at this level. If we see a correction at this level, then we'll be sure that we are going to have a push to the upside to at least tag this level. If we can tag this level, then from here, whatever happens in the structure, we will notify you guys then. Okay, GBP AUD. Let's check GBP AUD and let's see what's happening there. Okay, let's check what's happening here. GBP AUD is making a beautiful structure. What we expect from GBP AUD after this move to the upside, we want this zigzag to be completed, and then a move to the upside to complete the structure, and then downside again. Okay, it's a very clean and textbook structure that is making at this point in time. Look at it, beautiful move to the upside, beautiful move to the downside. All this is a correction in 3 waves. See the wave in the middle, 1, 2, and 3. That is A here, all right, B here, and we want a C here to complete the structure. And once this C is completed, then we will have this as with A here, with B, and then we must have with C. All right, remember this with C, let's make it in white. All right, this with C, let's make it in white. Okay, let's make it in white. This with A, let's make it in white. All right, so what we have in 3 waves at the middle is with B, and then you have this with C. Okay, this is expected to make a complete structure this way. That's what we expect in the weekly, and then this move to the downside will continue here to the downside. This is my expectation for weekly forecast for GBP AUD. Okay, so now let's look at daily and see what GBP AUD is doing. You will agree with me that after this pair make a decent move to the downside, okay, it has to correct at this level. We want this size of correction at least to ensure a great push to the downside. Okay, to ensure a great push to the downside, we need a decent correction at that level, and the correction is ongoing at the moment. So if we look at 4 hours, it will be very clear. In 4 hours, So in 4 hours, we took a trade after this correction. Sorry. After this correction. Okay. Let me show you. We have this move. After this move, we have a running flat here. Okay, we took a trade here. After 50% of this move, retracement of 50% of this move, and the formation of running flat, we took a trade to the upside. And now we are having a structure that we can clearly identify here. Okay, we have the 3-wave move, we have the up move, we have 3-wave pullback, 3-wave up, and then down move. Let me now explain. This 3-wave move is a W. To the downside, you have you have a move to the upside, which is with A. All right, 3-wave move back with B, and 3-wave move to the upside with C. And that 3-wave at the middle constitute X. All right, now this last wave is an impulse, so we cannot label this WXY. We have to label it A, B, and C, because it's not a 333 wave structure. From here, I expect a move to the upside to complete the structure that we identify in the weekly. All right, I expect a move to the upside to complete that structure. Okay, so allow GBP AUD to make a beautiful downside, and let's see what happens at this level. Let's see what happens. If we can get an impulse here and correction, then that is a sure trade to the upside. It's not less than 500 pips, guy. Okay, GBP NZD. All right, in the daily, GBP NZD in the daily. We also want this pair to make a beautiful move to the upside, because we see this as wave A. All right, and then we have 3-wave pullback as wave B. Then we also expect impulse in 5-wave as wave C. All right, if we can get this, then we'll have a beautiful move to the downside for continuation. All right, for continuation. All right, this one. This is what we expect from GBP NZD. But before we can see that this will materialize, we must see a decent correction at this level. Okay, we must see a decent correction. Already we have seen the impulse. You see correction in 3 waves. After correction in 3 waves, you have a move to the upside, a move that look like a leading diagonal. Okay, in wave 3. This is wave 1. This is wave 2. We have a leading diagonal in wave 3. So if we can have a correction here, that will be wave 1 of wave 3. And this is wave 2 of wave 3. You have wave 4 of wave 3. And then wave 5. So this will be wave 3. Okay, we have decent correction wave 4. And then we have a push to make wave 5. Okay, this will complete the wave structure that I have identified for you. All right, this will complete the wave structure I have identified for you. Okay, now let's move to GBP card. All right, GBP card weekly. GBP card weekly. This is a clear structure that we have identified. We are already trading GBP card right now. Okay, we have spotted a beautiful move to the downside, and we are trying to look at this piece as we are trying to look at this piece this way. We spotted this beautiful structure that we have a 3-wave move to the upside. After this impulse, we have 3-wave move to the upside, 3-wave move down, and then we are expecting another 3-wave move to the upside. So this will be W, this will be X, and this will be Y. Okay, so once we have this, then this one will have to move to the downside. So that continuation, let's represent it in white. Okay, and this impulse that's leading to that continuation, let's represent it in white too. Okay, that is the structure we are seeing. But if this is our forecast that GBP card should tag this level, then how do we go into the trade using the 4 hours time frame to get to that level? Now, in 4 hours, let's look at it in 4 hours and clear the mess. Okay, what we want, all right, what we want is very simple, because you can see the trend has progressed in 3 wave here, 3 wave back, all right. Then you have a push to the upside. We took a trade here after this 3 wave correction. We took our trade here. We have a 3 wave correction. We took our trade. So what we want now is a bigger corrective structure. Okay, if we can get a bigger corrective structure for GBP card, we'll be sure that from here we can have a maximal push to the upside to reflect the continuation pattern. All right, the Y with Y of the WXY structure that we spotted in weekly time frame. We spotted this. Remember, we have 3 wave pullback W, 3 wave back X, and 3 wave up Y. You remember, for people that have little or no knowledge of Elliott wave theory, when a 3 wave, after an impulse, when a 3 wave pullback against the trend happen, it is in 3 waves is W. When 3 waves happen in the direction of the impulse, which is this one, all right, which is this one, it's in the direction of this impulse, okay, it is X wave. All right, when another one happen in the opposite direction of the impulse, it is what? Y. Remember, we have named this one W. So this become 3 3 3 3 3 structure. All right, this is 333 structure, and it's called WXY. From here, you can have a push to the downside. So wait for 4 hours decent correction in GBP card for you to buy. Now let us look at the Euro card. Okay, Euro card. Euro card in weekly time frame, you can see that we've been having this move sideways for a long period of time. We've been having a sideways structure in USD card. But one thing I know that is very sure in a Euro card is that this structure at the middle is a beautiful structure in 3 waves, and you have this, a beautiful structure in 3 waves. So you are going to have W here, you are going to have X here, and in future, expect a bullish momentum for Euro card, which is WX and Y, before you can expect a move to the downside. Okay, that is WXY. All right, WXY under weekly time frame. Now, daily. Let's look at daily. Let's look at daily. All right. So now, Euro card. What do we expect in 4 hours time frame? We have to look at it. What do we see in 4 hours time frame? All right. Okay. So remember, in the weekly time frame, we want to go bullish on Euro card. But you will agree with me that after this move to the downside, we have another move to the upside. Now, this is where we are having correction. We have to analyze this correction at the middle very clearly for us to be able to make a headway on Euro card. You will see that we have this beautiful structure. I want us to analyze it very clearly. Down move, then we have this up wave. Let's use the different color for it. All right, so now we have this beautiful structure in 3 waves to the downside. Let's use another color. Okay, then you have this 3 wave correction, and then we're expecting a push to the downside. If you can get this structure, That would be very nice. Okay, that would be W, X, and Y. Okay, and this WXY is a correction of this blue wave. Okay, of this blue wave. So we have a move to the upside. Let's represent that in blue color. Okay, we have this move to the upside. So this is A, this is B, and then this is C. Okay, but you ask yourself, you should ask yourself a question. What happened to this Y? This Y must come down. All right, this Y must come down. This white must come down in white. All right, then this is when this structure is a complete structure. It's when it becomes a complete structure, guys. Become a complete structure. Then you have uh, this wave to the upside will now continue. Okay, so in the higher time frame, this can be wave 1, this is wave 2, and then you have a move to the upside for wave 3. But this is just 4 hours time frame forecast for uh, Euro card. Allow it to develop. Let it go. If it does not break this level, if it continue to go at this level, just wait for a little pullback and then sell. Okay, but if it doesn't go like that, there's possibility of it to make this structure, this three-wave structure here, because it has a little more downside to make. It can make this decent three-wave structure and then a pull to the downside. It must necessarily break this low, okay, for us to begin to buy Euro card, Euro USD, Euro USD. Okay, now Euro USD, we have this three-wave pullback. We have this three-wave pullback. You have this originating impulse. Now, let's see a decent correction here. You can see a decent correction here. We have more upside to go in Euro USD. Euro CHF. Euro CHF, okay? I call this trade setup. You can see it from here. I call it from here. It has hit TP. It really passed TP a little. Okay, let me tell you what I saw before I gave the trade. I will tell you what I saw before I gave the trade right now. Okay, what did I see? Understanding the wave principle. There's no really there's no substitute to it. You have this three wave down, then you have this three wave up. You must have this three wave up, then expect another three wave down. That's what we expect. Then how do we know that this wave is coming? How do we know? Because after this beautiful move to the upside, let me show you very clearly. After this beautiful move to the upside, we have three wave move back. Okay, after this expanding flat, we had this impulse. Then after this correction, we got in for the buy. Okay, this wave, this initial wave in white here must come here to complete. Okay, this at this level, we expect Euro CHF to make another wave to the downside. Okay, Euro GBP. Euro GBP, we had a decent trade on it at this level. Okay, at this level, when we made this down move, we have this three-wave pullback, and from here we got in. Okay, we got in. It's a trade setup. Got in downside. Okay, downside, and then from here we got in again. When we got this, we broke below, we got in. See another setup here, we got in from here. Okay, as long as GBP, USD, GBP, CHF, they are making upside, we expect Euro GBP to continue to make downside. But at this level, I do not want to encourage anybody to sell, except you see a decent correction. If we see a decent correction this way, from here, sell. Okay, if this correction does not come and you keep going like this, do not sell. Rather, wait for your buy opportunity. Euro NZD. It's been amazing trading Euro NZD because you can see the structure is there. We took a trade here. All right. and we have been riding down ever since then. Some of my traders that are swing trader, they enjoy this so much. Okay, you see it, you see another setup, you see another setup, boom, to the downside. Okay, how do we know that we'll continue to go downside? We capture that from the weekly time frame. All right, from the weekly time frame. If you look at this pair from the weekly time frame, it has a beautiful structure. All right, this pair will make a lot of downside. All right, so after this pretty downside, we'll have this, you have this, we have a three-wave move to the downside. Then this is W, all right, because it's correcting the whole move from here. This move to the downside here, this is a correction for it. All right, you can't call it W because here could be a continuation. It depends on what happened when the pair gets here that will determine whether this will be a W and here will be an X. But for now, we cannot call it a W. It's a pullback. Then allow this to continue to go to the downside. Let it break this loop before we know what to do. Since on the weekly, we see that this pair is going to continue to make decent downside, then what do we look at in 4 hours to be able to take advantage of the sell opportunity? What do we need to look at? Okay, what do we need to look at in the 4 hours time frame? Already the move has happened already. We have taken advantage of this to the downside. We are selling. You can't jump in. You have to wait for another pullback. You wait for another decent correction. You get in. You join for the downside on GBP AUD, GBP NZD. The same thing, GBP AUD. It's been beautiful trading these pairs over time, guys. It's been beautiful. I've told some guys, you can see the analysis still remain there. Say when we got here, this is a textbook setup. This is a textbook setup, guys. Textbook setup on uh on this pair. Textbook setup. You have the move to the downside. Sorry. You have this move to the downside. You have this wave in the middle, three-wave pullback, and then you have this continuation. Okay, you have this continuation to the downside. Let me draw it cleanly for you. Let me draw it cleanly for you. I have to make it clean. Okay, so you see this move. All right, you see this. This is ABC structure, textbook structure, ABC structure. And after that, what do you expect? Move to the downside. We will check what will happen after we have made equal leg A, B, and C. When we have made equal leg, we'll see what will happen. Okay, if at this level we are making another bigger wave correction, then we know we are going to push to the downside because weekly has told us that we have more downside to make. All right, we have more downside to make. All right, let's move on. Let's check some USD pairs. Let's check some USD pairs. Let's check some USD pairs, guys. Okay, so let's look at USD card. USD card on the weekly. I keep on telling people that trades are lost and won in the weekly time frame, weekly and daily. So if you don't understand the proper direction of the market from the higher time frame, you are likely going to fumble in the lower time frame. Okay, in the higher time frame, you have three-wave structure. You can see the correction in the middle. You have another three-wave here, okay, to the upside. Then you are expecting this to come to the downside. This is a simple textbook ABC structure, guys, in the weekly. A, B, and C. This is a textbook ABC structure. It's most likely going to make a regular flat, and you have a move here, and then you definitely get a move here to the downside. But you will agree with me that this wave C has not gotten to the level, to the end of wave A here. So we have a bit of downside to go. on GBP, on USD card. We have a bit of downside to go. We have been on the sell of this pair, and we made another position. We added another position at this level. Okay, after we had this structure, this is a textbook structure. All right, we have a structure here. After this structure, we got in here for a sell. Okay, my trader got in for a sell. We move. I told them when this one was going up, I said, do not worry about the pullback. It will go. Now we are there. We are leaving our trade over. Okay, we expect it to stay here for a little while and then break down to the downside. It has to go and complete the weekly structure that I identified for you earlier on. You can look at the weekly structure here. USD card is coming to tag this low around 1.22200 or 2150 or 2100. It's going to target, and once it targets, we'll have a beautiful move to the upside. Okay, USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY also have a beautiful structure. That's a beautiful structure here. You can see the structure that is forming on USD JPY. You have a three-wave move to the downside, three-wave move to the downside. You have this move, another three-wave in the middle, and then here. Now, we have to be very careful identifying the structure on the weekly. Just follow as I'm doing it. You have three-wave move down, okay? You have three-wave move up. You can see it very clear in the middle. Then you have three-wave move down. So this is W, X, and Y. After this, then you have a beautiful move to the upside. But one thing is that this move can come this way and still come down to make the Y. After that, we have this move to the upside. This move to the upside is very necessary for us to have this structure. For this to be A, all right, this will be B, and this will be C. Okay, all right, this will be C. So, but for now, upside is necessary on USD card. Then let's go to 4 hours to know if we have a structure, if we have a trade setup for USD JPY. All right, now we don't trend line, but we can use it as a guide. Here we took a trade from here to the upside. Then we are also watching here to see if USD JPY is going to give us a beautiful three-wave pullback here. If we have a beautiful three-wave pullback and we can have an originating impulse here, after correction, we are not going to hesitate before we take a buy, because we know we have to complete a weekly structure. Okay, after this breakout to the upside, we have to complete a weekly structure. Okay, USD CHF. All right, USD CHF. On the daily, you can see that this is a correction. This is a correction. After this correction, breakdown to the downside. More downside for USD CHF because dollar is still weakening at the moment. All right. Let's look at the yen pairs now. Yen pairs. Let's look at the yen pair. Very beautiful setup. We had made a lot of money on yen pair. You can see this is a three-wave structure at the middle. All right. Let's use the annotation too, please. This is a three-wave structure at the middle. After this three-wave move to the upside, we have three-wave back. Okay, we expect this to the upside. It still has more upside to go. It has more upside to go. Okay, from here, when we are expecting this leg of three waves, we have a move and we have a running flat here. Okay, let me zoom so that we can see it very clearly. Okay, okay, it's very clear now. Okay, we have this move to the upside. Then in the middle here, you have 3-wave pullback. Okay. After this 3-wave pullback, you have this beautiful continuation move to the upside. But what I'm saying is that at this level, we have a running flat here. 1, 2, and 3. This is a running flat. After this running flat, guys, you have this move. You don't need to be told before you know that this is a correction. For what? For more upside. We have been enjoying a lot of profit from this pair over time. At this level, are we going to buy? No way. This is not a good level to buy. You have to wait. When this flag was developing on Friday, most of my traders call me whether to take it. I say no, it's not likely going to go far after making this move. All right, it's not likely going to go far. It has to revert to the average price. We expect a more decent move here. If we have a decent correction here, then we'll get a push to the upside. We don't buy or sell except we see that the pair has made a decent correction, like in the size of what you see here. In the size of what you see here, the more the pair stay for some times to make a decent correction, the harder the push to the upside. The smaller the correction, the smaller the push to the upside. So we don't waste our time when we know that we're not going to have a hard push to the upside or downside. All right? NZD, yeah, NZD JPY. We have a beautiful trade setup here. Like here, we have a beautiful trade setup here. This is a fine trend to the upside. Okay. When this pair made a pullback here, we took a buy from here. Now he made another pullback, we take a buy. Are we to buy at this level? No way. You have to wait to see a decent correction back to this level before we buy. Except this correction is made, no buy on NZD JPY. CHF JPY. Okay, I made this forecast on CHF JPY, and the forecast is still there for you to see. Can you see? I sent this out. I posted this out that either at this level or at this level, this pair should fall down to make this structure. Okay? To make this structure. It's a beautiful structure I've spotted. Strong bullish trend. Okay, this is an expanding triangle. This is going to be a WXY structure. Okay, WXY structure. This is a 3-wave at the middle. 1, 2, 3. Only that it's extended. Okay, that's a running flat, and then we should have a push to the downside. Once we get here, if we get here in impulse, then this will be ABC structure, guys. This will be ABC structure because it becomes a 3-3-5 structure. But if this comes down in 3 waves, then you have a WXY structure. But at any rate, we want a situation where this pair hit this blue box that I've marked for you here. And from here, we see a beautiful opportunity for a buy setup from here to the upside to get this wave here. All right, it must appear here. That's what we are looking for. It's going to be, it's not going to be less than 500 pips. It's not going to be less than 500 pips. Okay, let's look at it. I don't think it should be less than 500 pips for guys. From here to here. Yeah, it should be about 500 pips if you made that projection right. Okay, AUD JPY. All right, at this stage, let there be a correction. Do not buy. It has bought so much. From here, we took a trade. This was our setup. If we don't see a decent correction, we don't take a trade. From here, we took a trade, and I think we made about 150. Made about 150 pips before I got out of the trade. Okay, now at this level, what we expect is a decent correction. If we don't see a decent correction in 3 waves, we're not even looking at pullback. That must be decent. It must be in the mode of this. Okay, this one is even too small. If I see this here, I will take the trade. I want to see something like this. Okay, if I see it there, then we take a trade for more upside. Euro JPY. All right, Euro JPY. Okay, this pair at this level must correct. It must have to give us a correction. When it went from here, we took a trade here, we pushed here, and it was making this structure. As soon as it started making this structure, we know it must break down to the downside, because this shape is carrying the shape or pattern of a diagonal. All right, it's carrying the pattern of a diagonal like this. Okay, and a diagonal is a motif wave in 5-wave structure. Okay, we know this must break down. The same thing we have here. When we have a rising channel like this, it must break down. After it break down, then we start to buy. But even the buying is buying correctively. So because of that, we have left this pair alone. We want it to make a decent pullback this way. Until you make a decent pullback this way, no more buy for us. But as soon as this pullback is decent enough, then we'll buy to the upside. Okay, let's look at some of the cross pairs. First, let's look at Aussie card. Aussie card, beautiful setup, 3-wave pullback here, we bought. Okay, we made another 3-wave pullback here, we bought. Now we are seeing it. We want to achieve parity. We want to buy it to 1.0. That is the price at which the value of AUD will be equal to card. We want to buy it to that level. When we get there, we assess the situation. We have about we have less than 100 pips to hit the parity of AUD and card. But are you going to join here? No, it's getting too late for you. Allow a move to the upside. Let there be a little correction. Then last push to the upside. Okay, that's AUD card. AUD CHF. All right, AUD CHF. We've been making a lot from AUD CHF over time. When we spot our correction, we don't waste time. We take the trade. This is a 3-wave pullback here. Okay, this is a 3-wave pullback here. 3-wave pullback, a push. Okay, 3-wave pullback, a push. We know the size of correction we are expecting in order to have a great push in the market. And if that size of correction does not come, we do not take a trade. If this size of correction is there, we don't take a trade. If this size of correction is there, we don't take a trade. But when we see this size of correction, we know we are going to make not less than 300 pips. When we see this size of correction, we know we are going to make not less than 300 pips. That is what we are looking for in the market. Okay, that's what we are looking for in the market. Look at this. Look at this, guys. An instrument cannot make this 3-wave structure for you. Okay, and you don't expect to have a push to the upside. You will definitely get a push to the upside. Okay, and look at this decent correction again. Okay, a push to the upside. Look at this correction again, a push to the upside. When you understand the theory, labeling, de-emphasize labeling. Okay, understanding the structure and pattern is the most important thing in the market. Okay, I have seen many Elliott wave analysts spending too much time in doing the labeling, and they don't make much money. De-emphasize labeling. Look at the pattern. If there are still going to be a push to the upside, the pattern will tell you. All right, yep, the pattern will definitely tell you. Look at AUD NZD. Here you can see we enter from here 0.04883. That was where we enter 4443 rather, and look at where we are now. Okay, and if you look at it from daily time frame, you can see a beautiful pattern we have spotted there. After this move, let me not analyze from the back, but let me just analyze this piece for you. After this move, you have expanding flat here. Okay, after this expanding flat, this correction meet up with the guideline of an expanding flat. We have moved to the upside, we have correction, then we should have continuation to the upside for Aussie New Zealand. Then at this level, what are we to expect in 4 hours time frame? What are we to expect in order to join the buy of Aussie New Zealand? Wait at this level. Let there be correction. Correction is building up. Let that correction build up liquidity. Once it pulls to the downside, don't hesitate. Put your buy stop and do what? And buy to the upside. That is Aussie New Zealand. NZD CHF. Can see I have made it clear that when you see a correction of this size, it's going to have a push to the upside. You see the push, you see another correction in 3 wave, you see the push, you see another correction, you see the push. Wait to see another correction and push to the upside. If you don't see correction in the mode of what I'm showing you, do not buy or sell. But once you see correction of this size, please do buy or sell. Last but not the least, let's look at NZD card. All right, NZD card has been good to us over time. We have made decent money from NZD card. Okay, this is just 4 hours. We have the analysis from weekly to daily. Look at a beautiful ABC structure, 533 structure, ABC structure. We had this push. Even if you cannot take the trade from here, after this push and correction, you should take the trade. You see a move here. Here you have a running flat. After a running flat, what do? We bought. Here we have a correction here. What are we doing? We are buying. At the moment, we are buying. Even when the market open, I can guarantee you, go and take a buy stop here. Okay? When market consolidates a little here, it will break up to the upside. This pair is going to buy crazy. Okay? Next week. All right? So this is the brief review of some of the pairs I have for you this week. I believe you will make a lot of profit by following our guideline. We pride ourselves to have succeeded to be correct 90 to 95% of the time. It's very rare for us to be wrong. We cannot say we are correct 100% because sometimes there could be a change of pattern or a change of structure. But the good thing is that once a change of structure occur in the market, we quickly identify it that, oh, this is alternative B of our structure that we have outlined that is playing out. And the alternative A that we have is not playing out. And if we are already in the trade, we either cut off the trade or we just try to minimize our loss. And then when we catch the trend, we know we are in for 200, 300 pips, to the upside. But many people do not have the psychology to hold their trade. It is something that you have to develop over time, because developing psychology to be able to hold your trade we keep you emotionally checked and keep you emotionally balanced. You don't have to be checking your trade every time. Once you are confident of your direction and you have placed your trade and you have minimized the risk that you have exposed yourself to, definitely you have a good run in the market. So let's subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that whenever we release any free content like this, you can get the video and watch. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Stay blessed and ensure that you trade with care next week. God bless you. Bye.